with Chris Repka, a student at the University of Missouri. Chris, first of all, tell us, how does it feel to finally be back here in St. Louis playing at the St. Louis Chess Club?
It feels great. I was very upset 2 years ago when the event got cancelled. And I'm happy to be here. It's good food here. It's high quality tournament, good players. We have like 6 different types of drinks offered to us for free while we're playing. It's very nice.
Definitely the St. Louis Chess Club treating everybody like the professional that you guys are. Tell us a little bit about your game. It seems just a spectacular victory for you.
Oh, thank you. Well, I was playing an opening that I analyzed with our coach, Cristian, and he thought that it's not such a good opening, but I told him that I just enjoy playing it. And I'm happy that I proved it today, and I think that Ali Marandi confused his opening prep a bit, and that helped.
Let's actually take a look at that game. We're going to see that on the screen right there, Chris.
Let me pull it up. I think I have it up, yep.
There we go.
And it must be this move H4 that you're referring to. I love how Leach has already put a dubious mark on it.
Exactly, yeah. H4, I like it. It's not that great for white if black knows it precisely, but I feel like white gets a small advantage everywhere, and it's an attacking position, a lot of options for both sides.
Right, so take us to a couple of the key moments of this game. We do have kind of an unusual setup here for black, right, with the early knight c6, knight e5. And it just feels
that if you go back to here, I know that a good move, what I was worried during the game was that he would play knight eg4. And the idea here is that the knight will always have either the g4 square or the e5 square. There's no way for me to get rid of both. And I looked at this position a while back, but I wasn't exactly sure how to play it with white. So I was worried that he'll do this. And I think that this is one of the best things black can do.
Right. Instead, he put the bishop on g4, a more ambitious developing move, but it became very awkward for him after bishop e2, bishop takes f3.
And it feels like also this move, bishop to g4, commits to taking on f3 and relieving the 2 bishops after bishop takes f3. Because if you take on f3 with the knight, then after g takes f3, you're losing a tempo. You have to retreat with that bishop, and that cannot be good for black.
It feels like the move bishop g4 was basically wasted. Yeah, this didn't appeal to me very much. Bishop takes f3 must have confused his openings, because after g takes f3, it's clear that f4 is coming, and as Chris was mentioning, it's important to have both the e5 and g4 squares there under control.
It's still possible to play this with h5, and then I think that after bishop e3, e6 is a strong move, or one of the good moves. It's a playable position. I would probably play something like king f1, and just a normal game, but what he did is he played e6 immediately, which I think he confused his prep, because this cannot be good after f4, h5.
And it didn't seem good. It seems like black's pieces are just too passive. The knights are not putting enough pressure in the center. Remember that white has a lot of trumps here. They have the center, they have the pair of bishops, and it's clear that they're going to be castling on the queen side, and immediately they can even push the pawn to h5, as Chris did, breaking open that king side or harassing the bishop like happened in the game with the move h6. So let's go through it a little bit. I was
very
surprised.
much Lila style, yeah, this h5, h6. It doesn't seem like that pawn is going to be a tremendous asset, much more of a liability, but it just accommodates this bishop on f8 tremendously.
Yeah, this bishop on f8 is just not going anywhere. And actually, the way that JJ played this position surprised me a little bit. The move queen f7, I thought castling long was in the books, but he decided, actually, I'm going to castle into the jaws of the lion, playing bishop e7 and short castle. And the lion, well, he closed his mouth.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, after I wasn't expecting castle long, castle short. Like after castle long, bishop e7, I was thinking to maybe like play f4 immediately, because that would avoid him playing castle short. But I was like, no way, like castle short can be good. Like I'll play king b1, and if he castle shorts, then I'll be probably happy anyway. Which king b1 kind of forces him to maybe castle short, because I'm slowly improving my position while it's unclear what black can do.
What were you planning on doing if he was castling long? at this point?
Good question.
Were you going to take that pawn on a7?
You know, I was gonna calculate that. Bishop a7 was definitely in my thoughts, but I don't know if it works. It might work actually. C5.
C5, yes.
Very nice. Can't take with the knight because this undefends the pawn on b6. B takes c5 is probably going to get checkmated by bishop a6 check. And the same applies to d takes c5. Actually, not so sure about d takes c5.
I'm also not sure. I would be calculating it after he would play castle long.
Although I have to say, I don't believe in this for black at all. This looks very, very sketchy.
Perhaps after d takes c5, an interesting move would be to go queen to a4.
Yeah, I like queen a4
And now if you go king to c7, maybe I can even take on b6.
You can take on b6. That might work. I was thinking if bishop b5 also works.
Oh my goodness.
I think at this point...
bishop b6 works. Yeah, that's just mate.
Bishop b6 is just made, right? Let's show that line. King takes, queen a6 check, king c7, check again, king c8, and the bishop joins the fray with deadly consequences. Yeah, this is quite lost. But castling short wasn't that good either. The rest was quite solid, a good performance. I like this pawn sacrifice, just opening up more stuff on the king side. And at this point, oof, this is just not going to be stopped. You actually want to get rid of the pawn on h6 for free to allow your rooks to participate in the attack. So there's very little black can do to defend. And the rest was simple for you, Chris, just finishing it off in style. Well, a nice victory here. Move rook g8, of course, distracting the rook from the defense of the queen. And that's all she wrote. Well, nice early victory here in the tournament.
Thank you. Yeah, first rounds are always kind of all over the place, so I'm happy to get the victory.
Well, Chris, thank you very much for joining us here in the studio, and good luck in the rest of your games.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, let us